Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Don the Kraken Wit, and I am here with my buddy Whitestorm. He's the guy that actually helped me fix my edits and help me edit my own stuff. This is the guy that I reached out to, of course. His name is Greg, and thank you, Mastermind Greg, for helping me out a little bit. What the hell have you been doing, dude? Like, where have you been?
I was in the UK when you spoke to me the first time,
Right?
um, but now I've moved house, I moved countries, and almost moved continents. I'm now in the Mediterranean, whereas
Okay.
before I was in the UK. So I've gone from sub-zero to super hot in literally 6 hours.
Where are you now?
Cyprus.
Cyprus. Yeah, I actually looked that up the last time that we talked.
Yeah,
It's a little
I'm.
island, isn't it?
It's a little island just near Syria, where
Yeah.
all the big bada booms are.
Big bada booms.
Big bada booms.
Big bada booms, son. Get 'em.
Where the shit's going down
No shit.
from a great height normally.
Well, man, I was talking to you earlier, and I convinced you to actually do some live streaming, and you actually fucking did it. Like, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I was like, holy shit,
Yeah.
Greg, like, go, go, go. You know? Like,
Unfortunately, the quality is not where I want it to be. I think the quality of my YouTube videos versus the quality of my live stream is piss poor.
yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, it was lagging there for a minute. It was lagging, but,
And
you're on a
and then
fucking
I'm
island.
concentrating so much on actually doing shit that I can't speak through it.
What the hell else has been going on with you, dude? I mean, like, just what else has been going on with you? Like, what have you been working on?
Well, I've been away from live streaming and away from YouTube for a long time now, because of a military tour of duty down in Al Udeid. I went down and played about with some Americans, uh, and helped them out to do whatever it is that they think they're doing, and then came back. You
Thanks.
know,
Yeah.
so
Just playing around with some Americans. Yeah, dude, we're
yeah,
all dumb over here, man. It's fucking
yeah.
fine.
You are. I mean, you're gonna destroy terror with terror. Makes perfect sense. Perfect fucking sense, man.
Well, you are in the army or the military. That so
Take that back.
all right. I will
Take
backtrack. Yeah, educate me,
backtrack.
sir. Educate me. Let
I'm
me
in the
know.
Royal Air Force. Her Majesty's Royal Air Force.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yes.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I make the radar spin and burn, turn and burn. You know.
That makes no sense to me.
So a radar spins around and around, and it
Right, right.
fires a radiation frequency shit flying high like that. And by think of it like this, right? You've got a tennis ball in your hand, you throw it at something, and it bounces back.
Right.
That's what a radar does, and that's what I do. I keep it working.
Like all radars.
Yes, all
Nice.
radars throw a tennis ball at somebody, and it bounces back, and they catch it,
Fuck. So like
and then you
you
can.
you can
So that
always find me. Is that what you mean? Like you can always hunt me down and find me.
I have operated over the horizon radar before, so yes, I probably could. But
That's
um,
amazing.
one of the things I could tell you, um, you know the stealth bomber that you have.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a delta wing. It's a big triangle basically in the
Yeah.
sky,
Yeah.
supposedly completely invisible.
Right. It's supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we can see it
Yeah.
all day, every day. But then we know what we're looking for.
Ha- have you ever heard of Area 41?
Similar to Area 61.
Oh, nice. Oh, what the fuck is that?
Is that not?
Like,
Is that
what?
Is that not the place where the British decided to donate all of our technology to the Americans in order to give them a leg up in the world?
Well, yo, dog. All right, we got aliens. We got aliens over in Area 41. Okay. Yeah, we're not worried about your fucking British radar. Like fucking, we're dissecting aliens and fucking, we got them in interrogation rooms, like the
Uh-huh.
the whole nine.
We we provide the spanners and saws, mate.
Right. All right. Good man. Good man. Good man. What the fuck else has been going on with you, dude? Like we weren't in contact there for a long time, like
Yeah.
because you were overseas and
Yeah.
just roaming about. So I just wanted to pick your brain, like see what the hell you've been doing.
I've been in 50-degree heat in the desert, uh, and then after I came back from the Middle East, after doing various bits and pieces over there, I
Hmm.
came back to the UK, and then an opportunity arose to come, or had arisen to come back to Cyprus. And Cyprus is a very, very wonderful place. It used to be part of the British Empire, and it very much is still in a way, on the basis that they drive on the correct side of the road, unlike you lot.
Oh
They,
fuck you.
well, that's not your
Yeah, go
fault.
ahead, go. Ahead.
It's your ancestors' fault.
Right.
And you know, we have a nice, lovely couple of bases here. We didn't have to give them to the Americans as well, which is quite nice. And everything is peachy down here. We got the sun, we got the sea. We can go skiing in the winter, and then sunbathing in the winter as well. It's perfect.
So you don't have seasons where you live now.
Yeah, it's either slightly warmer or slightly colder. We're literally
Damn.
right on the equator, pretty much.
Damn.
So it's perfect. And I'm actually me and my wife we're thinking of retiring here. So I'm out of the military in 2 years after doing a 12-year stint. So I'm 10 years in now, and I'm thinking that's it, GG. I'm done. I'm
Well,
gonna
well,
get a job here,
how old
and I'm
are
gonna
you?
relax. 31.
You're 31? I'm
Yeah,
31.
I know you are. We're the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. No, we're not. Well, we're both bald and 31. That's and we do shit on the fucking computer and the internet. That's the only thing we got in common. Are you vaping now?
Yes, I've been vaping since January, since I gave up smoking.
Well, I'm still a smoker, and now you're a vapor.
Yeah.
Good man. What was it hard to kick it?
No, this stuff is great. Um, that's the stuff I'm on just now.
Is that the mad juice?
Only Mad Juice. That's all you need.
Yeah.
But previously I was on. You'll like this one.
What's that?
Game of Vapes.
Game of Vapes. Nice. I like it. Okay.
Royal Nectar, sir. Royal Nectar.
No, and I love it, dude. Like, sometimes you'll hit me up on Facebook and you're like, dude, is this shit for real? You know, like, hit me up, like, with a couple different theories and whatnot. And I'm like, some of them I'm like, yes. You know, but
And
some
I'm
of
like,
them
I totally
I'm
thought of it
like,
myself.
no. I'm like, no, that is not the case. You
I think
know?
2 weeks before the dragon came out of the water, all blue and shit, I said to you, "Is he going to take over the dragon? Is he
Yeah.
going to do it? Is he going to kill one? Is he going to take over?" And you were like, "Of course. That's just fucking obvious." And I'm like, what? I've just fucking thought of this as a breakthrough moment for
Well,
me.
the idea of like having an ice dragon was, well, okay, George put out a book a long time ago about specifically an ice dragon. Like the dragon was composed of ice. You know, it was an ice dragon. It wasn't
Yeah.
an undead resurrected zombie white dragon. You know, like so it the community goes back and forth, about it. But I was like, yeah, basically at this point, yeah, he's gonna resurrect one, you know,
Yeah.
S- and we talk about the White Walkers and the Whites and all about that shit.
You know what we got to talk about,
What?
and it's going to be quite heavy.
Okay.
The 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 similarity between Game of Thrones and real life,
Yo,
and how
like okay, everything that George has done is based off of what you and our actual history.
you mean
Like,
my history, you American scum.
yeah, okay, your history.
It's all based around, and
Yeah,
no offense, but it's all based around British Anglo kind of history and some French as well. But there's
it's
little
like
bits of other places as well, isn't there?
right, right. Like when Lyanna, Ned Stark's little sister, or I don't know, I don't remember if she was her little sister or not, but when Ned Stark's sister got stolen
Hmm.
by Daenerys' older brother, and that started the war, the initial war.
Raygon, Raygon was it? Right, something like that.
Rhaegar, Rhaegar.
Rhaegar.
Yeah, when Rhaegar stole her, that's like the whole Helen of Troy and Paris
Yeah.
of Troy. Like
So,
it's
but
it's
that's
based pretty much overall the same thing.
yeah. But they were perceived to have been stolen, but they were actually in love.
They were actually in love. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that's the kicker to it.
I wonder what
And
Hector had to say about that.
well, he fucking that last movie I saw, he got drug all over the fucking place. You
He
know.
did.
Yeah.
He got poked with a sharp, pointy
I don't
stick as
know,
well, I
and
think.
yeah, Brad Pitt didn't give a shit about it.
I want to know though, like in that film, how long was he shouting Hector for?
Mm,
Because if it had been me, I'd have let him shout that all day.
yeah,
Fuck it, I'd have put it 2 days. How long are you gonna shout it for, bro?
you know what I used to tell people? They were like, "Hey, what do you do for a job? Like, what do you do?" I was like, "Well, the last thing I did was I was Brad Pitt's butt double in Troy." You remember when
So
they woke him up?
I tell them something completely different. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm a skyhook engineer.
I'm like, no, I was
Bounce,
Brad
bounce,
Pitt's butt double. Yeah,
bouncy castle repair
we
technician. That
we
was me.
both have the same man butts. Like it's crazy. Yeah, they're identical, man.
Apart
I'm
from yours
telling
glows in the dark, yeah?
you. Dude, I really like that I really reached out to you like when I was trying to edit and whatnot and you're doing your tutorials. Like what even started to get you to start to do your fucking tutorials to begin with?
Um, what, the one that's been removed by Facebook that had over 25,000 views?
Oh,
That one,
oh, no,
the
I didn't
one that
mean
got
I didn't
removed that
mean
you and
that
me.
one. I didn't mean that one. I mean like if you want to talk about it, I mean like
Oh,
that's fine.
basically, what I was doing was I was trying to figure it out for myself. So I thought I make a video, and if I can explain it to somebody, irregardless of whether it's a real person or not, uh, then I can learn it myself by explaining it to you guys.
Right.
So that's what I did, and I made something up. I said this is how I'm going to do it. I figured it out. I published it, and then a year and a half later, it got removed from YouTube because it was copyrighted, even though nobody claimed it for a year and a half, and it was completely my own stuff. So I don't know, fucking ridiculous.
How much YouTube stuff do you actually follow?
What do you mean?
Like, have you heard anything about the iDubbbz and Rice Gum thing?
I have heard a little bit. I stay clear of a lot of that. You know, it's not. I'm not interested too much in all of the YouTube celebrity stuff. At the end of the day, I want to make videos about stuff that that I find enjoyable. So
Right.
I was until very recently making videos regularly about the Shadow of Mordor.
Right.
That stopped recently because I had a family emergency, which I'm
Right.
starting up again. I've also been making a lot of videos for my community YouTube page, which is the Wildfire Community, and I've been doing videos for that purely about World of Tanks, removing it from my own channel so that I can put it on their channel.
Damn.
So at the minute, I am literally doing
Oh
nothing
yeah,
on my own channel.
you're their editor. Yeah, that you told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the editor, creator, and media person.
That was
So
that was really funny. I remember you did that your very first uh Mordor fucking video, and like
yeah,
I was watching it. I'm laying on my couch watching it, like just like supporting you and whatnot. Like I'm watching it, I'm like into it and everything. And like you didn't say much. You didn't say much throughout the whole video. And then at the very end you were like, "Yeah, well guys, I guess that's it." You know? And I was like, "What?" Like I was like, "No!" You know? Like, I was like, "Where's
do
the
you know what?
next one?"
On that series of videos, I've had so many people saying, "Why don't you have more viewers, more subscribers?" Because this stuff is golden. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, I don't fucking know.
Well,
This is what I can do. This is
it's
what I can
all a
produce.
giant algorithm, dude. Like it, like you gotta tag it right, you gotta share it right, you gotta put the video that you made in the right place. Even though your video, like even though standalone is golden,
Yeah.
like you have to put it somewhere. Like you have to do these things, to make it relevant, pretty much.
The promotion side of it is not something I'm
It's
particularly good at.
ridiculous.
And
It's insane.
and and with my job as well, I can't be politically active, although I've got strong political views. I can't really do certain or say certain things because of my job. As soon as I come out the RAF, I might do some political videos or explain some of my. I'm happy to talk about them anytime, but I cannot like represent my government and
Hmm.
say certain things at this time, if you know what I mean.
Well, there was a couple times, and actually that kind of initiated why I wanted to talk to you and like do the podcast with you, like because we've talked offline,
Yeah,
like about certain things, and I was just like, dude, this guy Greg, like he's fucking cool as shit, and like he's got some really interesting views, and like
yeah,
just hearing things from your point of view, like and you're way the fuck over there, and like you're living on an island now,
yeah.
and I'm in the United States, like it's just really interesting to get your point of view.
Well, let's see if we can test that out. Give me something that you think is cliche or a bit out there at the moment.
All right. So, in America right now, we're dealing with the whole Republicans versus Democrats, and
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it revolves around black people versus white people.
Yeah, I have a problem with that immediately
Okay.
because the persons versus white people thing is completely made up. It's not real. You're both the same species of people. You're both the same race, the human race. So immediately I've got a problem with that because it's decided that because one person has more melanin in their skin than the other, it makes them a different race. It doesn't. It means that they're environmentally slightly different from somebody. It doesn't make them different. It doesn't make the race different.
Right. I agree with you, but
To me, it means
that
nothing.
doesn't mean that the people that have a different skin color and all of the oppression that a lot of them have faced isn't real. It's very real.
Well, you're talking historical now. You've changed it from
No, no,
current
it's
historical.
right now. It is right now. Like here in America, like when I walk down the street, I see it. I
Do you,
see it.
what exactly do you see? Exactly.
People being racist, people being what's the word I'm looking for? They're they're just hating, like they're just being racist. Like people just,
Where does this come from? Where does this come from?
dude, bro,
It
I have
comes
no
from
idea.
education.
I
It
have
comes
no
from
idea.
education.
Yeah, I have no idea
Purely
where it comes
from
from.
education. If you're literally, you learn to believe in God. It's not a real thing. You learn to believe in it. You learn to believe in race. These things are not real. Learn to believe in the idea of money. Money is not real. It's an idea. You learn to believe that gold is a precious metal, even though it isn't particularly precious. You learn to believe that diamond is particularly precious, but it's only made of carbon, which we are as well. It's not real.
That's why you put
The
it on a
things,
ring
the
and like give it to somebody, and
Yeah,
yeah.
the idea of things is real,
Hmm.
but only to us at the moment in time that we decide that it's real. So when I asked my wife to marry me, it became real that proposed to her and presented her with something, and then that was a token of an idea that we're to be together forever. It's
It's just a
merely an
token.
idea.
Yeah, it's just a
It's
token. Yeah.
But to anybody else, is that real? Do they have any perception of how I love
Well,
my wife,
there's,
or how I feel about other people,
but
or
still,
any?
there's still a lot of people that they go through everyday things. You know, like the LBG community. You know, like going around talking
Hmm.
about everything, them being oppressed. Hell, like now the white people community is talking about being oppressed, and it's like historically
In a
here in
country where you're
America
70% white people, how can you be oppressed at 70% white people?
they talk about it, man. They talk about it. They bring
I
it
just feel
up.
like there's a lot of people trying to be oppressed when they don't need to be oppressed.
Yeah, it's like the whole fucking country
It's
is
like
oppressed now. Like
everybody's
can't
desperate to be
nobody do
oppressed, so they've
nothing,
got
dude.
a reason to anarchy against shit.
Yeah.
Dudes, you just need to chill out, yeah?
Yeah. No shit.
Just get back to building something that's important.
No, it's, and even being in the community that I founded my, initial YouTube channel from. It's I have so many friends that are black, African American,
Whoa, whoa,
and
whoa. I got a problem with that straight away.
what?
How can they be African American unless they were born in Africa and then emigrated to America within the first generation?
That's just what they dubbed them here in
So
America.
I would just call them Americans.
They should just be called Americans.
They are.
Yeah. But like there's things that we do, like let's say we go to the doctor, okay? Just going to get a checkup at the doctor, and you got to
Yeah.
fill out this form. They're
Right.
gonna ask your nationality.
American or
No,
British.
they're gonna say, "Are you white? Are
That's not
you
your nationality. That's
are
your creed.
you Pacific Hispanic, or like Pacific? Uh, all these other shits. Like are you
That,
African
that
American?
that's
Like
not your
all these
that's
other
your
things.
that's not your nationality though. That's your
Shit,
creed.
have you seen my beard, bro? Like my beard is so red. Like I like
You've got
my
your own nationality.
bro. Like I'm Scottish. Okay.
No, you're not.
Like
You're American.
yeah. Well, now I'm
You can't
American.
be for Scotland, you cheeky bastard. You get stabbed in Scotland, man.
I
You
bet.
would.
I bet
You
they would
get
probably
fucking
beat the fuck out of me. Yeah.
pure dunted.
Yeah. They would probably whip my fucking ass like
My
everywhere.
wife's from Scotland.
She would probably beat my ass. I mean, like this is where it came from. It's like I know my family's name. I know where they came from. But it's it's just something that we have to deal with every day in America.
Yeah.
It every single day. It's like everyone is oppressed, but to be honest, a lot of African American people here in the United States, they do have a right to fucking be angry. Like, because of everything that has happened. And nine
Well,
times out of 10, like, dude, you probably being overseas, you don't see all the fucking police brutality that we see. Like, you don't see all of these other things of, like, if I was
yeah, but
white holding a gun, walking down the street, versus a black guy walking down the street with a gun, like, black guy's probably gonna get killed. He's probably gonna get shot.
but
It's
in
like
no virtually
stereotyping,
in
like the
virtually
whole
no
nine.
other country are you going to be holding a gun. That's nuts to be holding a gun walking down the street.
It's
To us,
America. You have the right to bear arms.
yeah, I got two of them right here.
Yeah.
See, I mean,
That's not what that
you,
means, you jackass.
yeah, no, the right to a free voice is democratic. The right to
Right.
bear arms is stupid. It's
That's
pure
the Second
stupid.
Amendment, dude. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
it's an amendment. It's already been changed once. Fucking change it again.
Yeah. It probably won't happen. I don't know.
It
I
won't, for
I
the
don't know
simple
if
reason
it.
that there's some very stubborn guys who own a lot of money in that particular field of industry. And
Yeah.
that's the only reason. It's nothing to do with the little person who thinks they've got a right to bear arms against the government, should the government, who they're never going to attack, come down on them.
Right.
It's simply because some dudes have got some money and some shit that they don't want to get rid of, so they lobby some shit against the people in the name of democracy, and then it changes to autocracy, and then it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And then you get mass shootings because people are upset. It's not a real thing. The right to bear arms is just stupid. You have a democratic voice in a civilized world where you can vote in the people that would do the right thing. And if they're not doing the right thing, you vote them out.
Well,
That's how democratic.
initially, because America was, you know, founded from like them emancipating themselves from the British Empire.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they establish their own things. So with them saying yes, freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, it's they fucking emancipated themselves, but
You're talking
then they
you're
just.
talking about stuff that happened hundreds of years ago
Yeah,
now.
I know, but like it's
It can
still
change.
relevant today, and like having all of these, black people being really upset that, hey, finally we abolished slavery. We did everything that we could in America, but there's still tons and tons and tons of people that still hold them in less regard than other people over here in America.
Well, that's
That's a
due
real
to the
thing.
education
That's a
system.
real thing. Yeah, and they're haters, they're racist, like the whole nine.
Yeah,
It's a real thing.
it is. But it shouldn't be, and
It shouldn't be. Yeah.
it's fictitious in as much as anything. Because at the end of the day, like I said, the racism thing, you're all part of the same race. We're all part of the same race, the human race.
Right.
There's
Absolutely.
there is no difference between me or anybody else apart from 0.00001%. You know?
Damn right.
So
The only difference between me and you is you're in the Air Force and I never went. That's the only difference.
it's probably less difference than that, mate.
Yeah. It's like we're both 31 and bald and damn good looking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's the only difference.
And you're ginger.
And I'm a redhead. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's fine. I like your flannel shirt though. That is actually pretty sexy. Way to go, Greg.
I bought it myself. Yeah.
But what else has been going on, man? Like, talk to me, brother. What's going on?
Well, here's a big one for you. I was
Alright.
gonna make a YouTube video about this. Last week, my daughter had a seizure, a,
Yikes.
a chronic compulsive seizure where she was shaking like this on the sofa, and I had no idea what was going on. So I dialed 112 to get the emergency services out. And then, not an hour later, she had an absence seizure. She was completely void of anything in the hospital.
What does that mean? Like, just like comatose? Like, just.
Like, just there was nothing there.
Like, she just froze?
Like,
Yeah.
she just wasn't there at all.
Okay.
And then she flopped back,
Right.
and
Okay.
I have never been more scared in my
I
life
bet.
than that.
How'd your wife feel?
Affected her pretty bad as well. Of course it did. Um, but the weird thing is, I mean, she had every test under the sun that we could possibly get her. Epilepsy, fucking everything, you know. It turned out the reason why she had these seizures, one one where she was shaking, one where she was absent, is from the ear infection. And I'd very much like to create some sort of video about why that happened, and
An
that
ear
how kids
infection?
an ear infection, yeah.
That's
Because
crazy.
from what I understand, absolutely anybody, you, me, us, them, we can all have a seizure. We can all be forced to have a seizure at some point. Is the right conditions, you can have a
Yeah.
seizure.
Yeah.
So my daughter had a seizure because of this ear infection, and probably some other reasons. I'm not sure what, but she had tons of antibiotics and tons of fluid pumped
And then
into her,
and then she just froze.
and then she was fine. But yeah, that second seizure, she was gone. I've never been so scared. That look in her eyes will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
Fucking scary, mate.
I believe it. I believe it, Craig.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
So, what's your kids like a hawk?
I don't have kids. I'll probably never have kids.
Hey, it's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. I'll probably never have kids. I don't want that.
No? Well,
Mm-mm.
that's your own decision to make.
Yeah.
But
If it
it's
happens, then yay, but if it doesn't, like, it just kind of makes sense. I'm like, I don't fucking want kids. Like, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way for anybody listening, or, and you, I just don't want children. I don't
well,
want them.
that's entirely your decision. I mean, it's a big decision. It's bigger than
It's a
maybe some people
huge
realize.
decision. That's like the biggest decision of your life, dude.
Yeah, it's the continuation of your life after your
Yeah,
death.
that's it. Yeah.
It's the
Having
whole point
kids.
of being is having kids. So, but I can understand why you wouldn't want to have kids if you're in some sort of predicament, or if you've not found the right person, or various reasons. It's
Dude, it's both of those and a collection of things.
Yeah, I can understand that
Yeah.
it's the biggest, hardest, toughest decision, but it's also the easiest decision when it's the right time.
Right. I believe that. I believe that. I completely believe that. Yeah.
The
Like,
problem is, it's all too easy to have kids, and that's why
oh,
a lot of
yeah.
people, like myself, I didn't go to university, get a proper education out of it because I had kids quite early. Um, Whereas I could have lifted myself out of the place where I was at the time by going to university, and
Hmm.
getting that education would have seen me through significantly. Whereas I spent 10 years trying to build back to where I am now, which
Hmm.
I'm not in a bad place right now. But back then, 10 years ago, I could have done that 5 years sooner if
I,
I'd have had the proper education. So, and the reason why I didn't was because I had kids. But then again, it's out the way and done with, you know.
I got a good friend of mine. He'll probably listen to this. Actually, I'll send it to him on purpose just to make sure he listens to it. But he had a daughter. Well, he got this woman pregnant, and she gave birth, etc., etc., and she did not want the child. The woman did not want the child. And
Hmm.
so, what did my friend do? He went and told her, "I'm taking it," or taking the girl, a girl, and that's my daughter. Like that's what he said to himself. That's my daughter, and like he took her legally, signed the papers, etc., etc., and he's raised her ever since. Like
Hmm.
that's just what he did.
Yeah. Well, that's good on him. I mean, I'm surprised that happened.
Yeah,
It's not
and,
often.
and,
It's
and
not.
it's
It's
very
not often you get
rare.
mothers
It's
to do
very
that.
rare to find a male to do that.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I had kids when I was 19. Um, very, very young. I had to grow up very, very quickly.
Craig, you've been
Um,
fucking forever, dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But kids are wonderful.
Mhm.
It's as long as you teach them the right way, they'll as long as you do right by them, they'll do right by you. Obviously, they're your kids, and I think there's not one person that can't. Uh, I don't know. There's not one person that can't empathize with that. If my dad did right by me, then I'm going to do right by him. And it's only until later on that you really realize that. I think when you've had your own kids, and you feel, well, why did my dad do that thing? Or why did and there's standout things that happen in your life, and you
Mhm.
think, why did my dad do that? Why did he leave his job there and do that? Or why did he do this and do that? Or why did he say that to me that one time when I was in the woods having a walk with him and having great fun? And then you think back to it years later down the line, and these things always stay with you, and you think, ah, you know,
Right.
because he loves me, because he's wanted the best for me, because whatever.
Absolutely.
So kids are often people say women are the great enigma. It's often kids to fathers, definitely.
And it's you were talking about your dad. I lost my dad 3 years ago. He he had a heart attack. He went through his bouts of alcoholism. He got into a coma for a little bit, and eventually, like the last time that he went into the hospital, they couldn't save him.
Hmm.
And yeah, I lost my dad. And that was really tragic. Like it was horrible. Horrible. And it hurt really really bad.
Yeah,
And like I think about it all the time. Like, and to be honest with you, he was 53 minutes away from being 60 years old. He died 53 minutes before he turned 60.
well,
I'm like, God damn it, Dad. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you could have
but
just hung
he
on like a little bit longer,
he'll
like
he'll never be a pensioner in your eyes, though. He'll always be the guy that you knew when you were a
that's
kid.
my dude, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's my dude. Yeah. He was my best friend, dude. Like I could I started watching Game of Thrones with him. Like I couldn't even like dude, I put off The Walking Dead for like 2 years because I couldn't watch it because of him. Like because he loved The Walking Dead.
It's a good show.
You know, like it's a great show.
Yeah.
You know, but like I just like for 2 years I couldn't fucking watch it, dude. Like I just couldn't do it. You
Yeah.
know, it's like just my dad. You know, ah man, Greg, what is this? What has this conversation become? Like,
It's become the most honest thing you've said,
yeah.
and
Hey
probably
man,
the most
you
important.
know what? Talking about any kind of relationships, any kind of thing that you have going on in your life, the only one thing I want you to do is to be honest with people
Yeah.
and be truthful. You know,
The
because
thing,
there is no reason to hide behind anything, to lie, to manipulate. Like there is no reason for that. You know,
there isn't.
there's no reason for that
The,
whatsoever.
the problem I find the most is that I tend to do those very things to myself, to nobody
Oh
else. I'm a
yeah,
very honest
okay,
person.
yeah.
I always do that to myself. I always convince myself that I'm doing a good thing or a bad thing or a stupid thing, or that I'm not doing the right thing, and I'll get myself worked up and upset about it. I'll think, oh, I'm not a good enough father. I'm not a good enough this, that, and the other husband, whatever. Um, and then I'll not necessarily make irrational decisions, but I'll withdraw from all decision making. And that's the hardest thing, is when you get to that point and you realize that you're relying on your other half to make decisions for you because you're not confident enough for making them yourself. And
Well,
that's been my issue over the last year.
try not to be your own worst enemy.
I've been my own worst
Try
enemy since
not
I
to
was about
be because
11 years
like
old.
and I say try because I know that it's very active. I know it's there. It's a real thing. You know, like
Yeah.
everybody out there literally tries to beat themselves up and question their own decisions, you know.
Mm.
You
Oh, I
don't
question
have to do
every
that.
decision.
You know, like
Yeah.
you don't have to do that. But we okay. You can preach, you can talk, but eventually it always comes down to the individual person.
Absolutely.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. So normally it's my own issues that get in the way of stuff.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay.
But
That just means you're normal, man. It
you know
just
what the problem is? The problem is I'm really good in it. I recently did a leadership uh, thing where you go and you pretend to be a leader, and you get to get you do a performance,
you
you read a
pretend to be
story, you do a presentation, whatever, and then you do some exercises. I'm really good at doing all that shit because it's a performance. See, doing that very same stuff with my wife, she's the
yeah.
boss. It's weird.
No, your wife is totally a boss, dude. Like,
Yeah, she is.
yeah.
She rules the roost. She wears the trousers.
She got it going on. Yeah. It's fine.
She's already told me off once tonight. In fact, yeah, she done it twice.
You just checked your phone. Oh, she just did it again.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, I'd be more than happy to talk to you later tonight, but for the podcast's sake, we've been going on for 45 minutes now, or
Yeah.
almost 45 minutes now.
Yeah, and
From
it's 20 past 2 in the morning for me, so
well, it's only 7 o'clock over here,
PM.
p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a world and a half away from you. I'm just a world away from you.
You're not. You're on the same world.
Right.
We haven't breached worlds yet.
All right, so Greg, give the people some shout outs. Let them know if they want to follow you on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, anything like that. If you want to let them know.
Uh, yeah, guys, you can find me on Whitestorm at YouTube, and you can also find me contributing on the Wildfire community almost daily, probably every second day, doing World of Tanks videos. Um, and I also have a Facebook page as well. You can come and see me on there. Probably the best way to converse with me. And that's about it, really.
And guys, he's a fucking sweetheart. I fucking love this dude. He's fucking amazing. Like, Greg, you've been a really good friend, dude. Like, you've been a really good friend, and I hope we can do this again.
We will, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put the world to rights on other situations, whatever
Yeah.
they may be.
Right. All right, ladies and
Next
gentlemen.
week, space travel.
Space travel. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out with Don the Kraken Wit and Greg. Sign off with your White Storm, please. Just White Storm it. Just White Storm this bitch all over the place.
Go and tell everybody about your crackheads.
Oh, yeah, dude. All my crackheads. Yeah. I got a couple of them.
Yeah.
All right, later, guys.